Have you ever wondered why it feels so hard receiving? Whether it's compliments, support, money, or love, you feel your body tighten, second guess yourself. It doesn't matter how many affirmations you say, how many strategies you build, how much you work. The truth is, this most likely isn't a mindset problem. This is an embodiment wound, and that embodiment is Venus. Venus is your own personal magnetism. She holds the key to that. Welcome back. I'm Katerina, and I walk women into their wealth rebirth through astrology, through shadow work, through feminine energy. In today's video, we're diving into your Venus placement. I know I did a Venus video the other week, and I really wanted to go deeper into this placement because it holds your wounds to receiving, it holds your healing, and it holds your magnetism. As women, we have been conditioned to do, to give, to serve, to strive, but receiving is the feminine's natural design. Our whole self is literally meant to receive. And for many of us, that natural ability has been wounded. We tend to feel guilt when someone is offering us something. We tend to go tense. We tend to avoid rest because we feel honestly not worthy of it. We tend to overgive in relationships, we tend to overwork in our career, and we never let ourselves receive. But Venus in our chart tells us where that all began and how we can end it. Because Venus doesn't just rule attraction and pleasure, it rules self worth and wealth. And when Venus is blocked or wounded, we tend to have this energetic field around us, basically saying, I don't deserve more. The good news about Venus, and I've said this before, is it shows your wound, but it also shows the answer. There is the light Venus, and she is soft, she is radiant, she is giving. And then there's almost this dark Venus, and she's the magnetic, she's the untouchable, she is the sovereign. She's not aggressive, but she doesn't chase. She's not loud, but she knows her worth. She doesn't perform for love, she receives. You just feel her presence in every room. And this is where your true financial magnetism lives. It's not about how much you do or how much you give. It's about embodying her. It's about allowing her to let you feel deeply. I want to explore some Venus signs in houses and kind of give you an idea of where you might be able to tap into your magnetism. Venus in the second house, she is in her home. She is wealth attraction in herself. But if she is wounded, she will have a lot of self-worth issues. You will tie how much you earn or how much you own to your worth. So if you're not hitting those big financial goals, you'll tend to kind of not show yourself love. You'll tend to shrink yourself. You might abandon yourself. You tend to just not feel worthy of giving yourself anything because you haven't earned what you think is enough. So your healing in this is to basically build your self-worth before any of the results come. It is to bathe in your luxurious nature, count your money in your silk robe, light candles for your bath. Build that kind of beauty and that pleasure within your self-worth before anything comes to you, and that will help you to kind of release that wounded nature of Venus in the second house and really step into like that abundant, that luxurious, that pleasurable life. Venus in the sixth house, so your daily life, your service, your routine, your love language is routine. But with it wounded, you overwork, you overgive. You might see yourself in a way that if you don't do something every single day, you are not worthy of abundance. You end up serving others so much and not giving back to yourself. You are pouring from an empty cup and you feel unworthy of anything unless it is productive. So your healing is not in what you do, it's about how you feel when you're doing it. Focus on the embodiment of feeling every day. Romanticize your life is a great aspect for this. How do you feel when you're making your coffee? How do you feel when you're giving yourself a shower? Add those luxurious things into your daily life, and you'll feel yourself kind of releasing that mindset of like, I need to be productive all the time. Another thing you could do is create like tiny breaks in your day that are like indulgent, luxurious. Um, you know, you make a beautiful plate of food for lunch. You spend time reading a book in the sun. It's those tiny little daily things where you're giving back to your Venus energy and you're giving it back in like a sensual, pleasurable way. It's in like the mundane daily habits. That's when Venus is saying, you are the maker of these, you are the ritual to these, you are what makes it luxurious. Venus in the eighth house is like, this is where shadow work comes to play. You crave intimacy, transformation, you crave that deep connection. But with that, because you crave that deep connection, you also might fear that deep connection. You might fear loss, you might fear betrayal. So you end up not letting yourself fully be who you were meant to be because you are scared someone will leave you, or you're scared that you will be betrayed, whether that is relationship wise or financially wise. You might have some power struggles there, and you might actually guard yourself. You might feel like you are doing it from a protective mode, but you might protect your dreams, your desires, your thoughts. And while you feel like you're protecting your heart and you're guarding yourself, you're actually blocking abundance from coming through. It's like you have this shield in front of you, and you are coming from the place where you feel like you are protecting yourself because subconsciously you fear loss and betrayal. But actually, what you're doing is that money and that abundance is trying to come to you, but that shield is there. So, like, it's just going back around. It's like bouncing off the shield and coming back. It's not fully entering your life. Venus wants that abundance, it wants that love, it wants that pleasure. But if you have a shield there, it's not feeding Venus. The universe is just bouncing off that shield and going back for. So your healing is almost like you have to kind of, your healing is in seduction, like seduce yourself into trusting, into safety. I really recommend shadow work for this placement. It just will help you unravel all that stuff that's going on, because it's hard for someone to feel safe and feel trusted and to let that guard down. Like, you have to take the first step. This isn't about you doing more. This isn't about adding more luxuries into your life, even though I feel like you should. This is more just about stepping back and surrendering and letting the depths of yourself come out. This is about reading like things that you really crave, whether that's like esoteric or occult things, or whether that's, I don't know, a poetry in a different language. You love that and you want to read that, but you're scared of what other people will think, whether they'll judge you, so you might not read that in public. Go sit in a coffee shop and read that in public. Let yourself be vulnerable and let yourself be fully seen. Let yourself be vulnerable within that, and the more abundance will come to you. Say yes to like the tiniest thing without wondering if someone's going to betray you, without feeling like you need to protect yourself. It's the tiny steps for you that will eventually kind of build up and let that shield down. But shadow work, definitely for you. Venus in the 10th house is like the public space, the public house. You attract through visibility, through owning your power, through standing tall. You attract through leadership. This is all about your public persona, your career, how you lead in the world. But when it's wounded, you may feel like you need to be perfect in order to succeed. You may feel like you can't show your vulnerability. You can't be a person who loves every part of them, the shadow and the light, in front of people, in your career specifically, but in your public identity. You don't feel worthy of success. So your healing within this is letting your raw, messy, wild, like Lilith-esque self come out. Don't over edit your photos if you post them on social media. Just let your like raw self. I think one of the explanations that I can give when I think of like raw and messy for my own self is like when I straighten my hair, when I style my hair, I'm like put together. I feel like kind of put together person, right? But then what's that saying is like my natural self isn't put together. My natural self isn't worthy of standing out in the front sometimes. I definitely feel like that's societal pressures that we've kind of been taught. But like my raw self, myself that wants to be seen for like her true self, is like when my hair is natural. It is when I want to go to a business event and my hair be like this, right? I think we're getting to a place where we can actually do that more. I hope, fingers crossed. But still, that's what I mean. It's like letting your brand be you. You are your brand, messy, wild, raw. Don't feel like you need to make yourself palatable in order to be able to be seen in your career or success. You are the brand. So post that photo, walk down the street, be in your power, stand in that, and the more magnetic you will be. Your magnetism is in that rawness. So these are just little glimpses. There are so many other houses and sign combinations that kind of give you a more in-depth look at your Venus placement, and therefore the blocks and codes to kind of unlock your financial magnetism. If you're ready to take this a bit deeper and, you know, start your journey within this, then my 5-day free wealth portal is linked below. It helps you kind of soften into this world. So it starts with Pluto in the 8th house, and then it moves on to Venus, 2nd house. So for 5 days, you get prompts for those placements. It's like a soft touch into the personalized shadow work world. It touches on Pluto, 8th house, Venus, 2nd house. It touches on Jupiter. It touches on Saturn, 12th house. And you have prompts catered for those for 5 days. You don't have to do them in the 5 days. You can do them whenever your body kind of feels like it. They're just a soft entrance into this world, and that is linked below. And remember, you don't become magnetic by trying to be perfect. You become magnetic when you step into your power, your embodiment of who you are, your rawness, your realness, your truth. When you stop abandoning who you truly are and start receiving yourself fully. So drop your Venus house placement below. I'd love to know what they are and what you're receiving, what you want to receive more of, in the comments below. Remember to receive more and chase less. your energy is your money. I'll see you in the next video.